Hi, Linda Ruth.
So it looks like it may, in fact, just be us. Shall I go ahead and say welcome, one and all interested parties, to the annual general meeting of the Junction Residents Association? And I'm just going to start by reading our land acknowledgement. We recognize that we live, work, and play on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee and Wendat peoples, and which is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, the Toronto Purchase, which represents a sovereign relationship between the Mississaugas of the Credit and the Crown. Toronto is in the Dish with One Spoon territory. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. Under this covenant, we have to share the responsibility of ensuring that the dish is never empty, which includes taking care of the land and the creatures that we share it with. We all eat out of the dish with only one spoon, all of us that share this territory. We recognize that the original caretakers of the land and the enduring presence of treaties that guide the relationships between nations and with the land for past, present, and future. We're here to work together to build a healthy, caring, and vibrant community where all people can thrive in the present and for generations to come. We also recognize that a land acknowledgement alone is not enough. It's merely a starting point. So in that spirit, we'd like to share an Indigenous-led resource called Native Land Digital, and that is at native-land.ca/our home on native land. Their mission is to map Indigenous lands in a way that changes, challenges, and improves the way that people see history and the present day through mapping, education, and community building. So I think that we are now able to welcome Helen to take over as the spokesperson for the Junction Residents Association.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone, the five of us. Welcome anyways. We're just going to go about our year in review to go over what we were up to for 2025. These are our GRA board members, and the term does indeed end this year. But there'll be an interim board that'll take us until the beginning of next year, given our new year-end change to our financial year-end anyways. We wanted to better align the AGM with our year-end financial statements. Anyway, so these are the executive members. Elena or Helen, myself, Vasilakis, and Victoria Clare is taking on secretary and vice chair. Catherine is the treasurer, Catherine Morley. Stephanie Clayton, Samantha Cook, Sue Fleming, Mahima Medhava, and Tuli Parabets are all members at large. And these are the people that support the work that we do throughout the year. Mahima, can you move to the next slide, please? These are the areas of focus that that the board took on this year or last year. We participated in the local advisory committee for the West Toronto Heritage Conservation Study, and we're still participating in that as well. We should hear the response from the city or the final decision. I believe they were saying September of this year. We've also continued our collaboration with other residents associations through the Federation of South Toronto Residents Associations, FOSTRA for the acronym. And we also supported and expanded our collaboration to support other community members' initiatives, such as the Jane's Walk, McMurray Street Festival, and the Junction Dry No More that took place. And Mahima, the next. So these are just examples of the McMurray Avenue Street Festival is a festival that has been spearheaded by Michael Nowalski, who lives on McMurray, and has been running that festival annually for the past 7 years. Last year was our first year that we actually collaborated and supported that festival by providing insurance and helping to, we also sponsored by giving $200 as well to go towards the cost of that event. And we'll continue that collaboration throughout this year as well. We also hosted, in collaboration with Stu Sells and Tuli Parabets, the Meet Us in the Junction Jane's Walk event in 2025 in May. And we had a really great turnout. It was, it was a great day. And we went through the history of the Junction, sort of tied in and highlighted some of the businesses, some of the interesting landmarks that are in the neighborhood. And then the Dry No More, we helped to support by providing the platform for the Dry No More event that took place in September of last year. Next, please, Mahima. So now this is the community engagement and events committee members, and these are all the people who helped to sort of put together the events that that we host throughout the year or that we support throughout the year. And then this is what we hosted in spring of 2025. We hosted the TIACON Parkdale High Park Meet the Candidates online event for last year's federal election, where we invited the candidates to have a chance to make the case to our residents, and it gave the residents an opportunity to get some answers from the perspective from the nominees. We led our annual Clean Toronto Together in April of last year. We supported the Meet the Junction Jane's Walk, and then we also sponsored the West Toronto Arts Tour. We give an $100 sponsorship to help pay the cost for the West Toronto Artist Tour. In June of last year, we hosted our 4th annual JRA Summerfest. It was, as you can see, it was a great deal of fun. We have music events. We feed the community. It's a free barbecue. All the food is free. All the events are free. So we want to make sure that everyone who attends the event doesn't have to worry about how much money they have in their pocket. So that was our Summerfest, our kickoff to summer. And in the fall, we hosted our 4th annual Halloween Howl on October the 26th. And again, we had a great turnout. We supported the McMurray Street Festival as well, which took place in early September. It's usually the second Saturday of September. And we also supported the Dry No More. So that's what we were up to throughout the fall time. And again, our Halloween Howl event is a free event where each of the children get a treat bag, and we have prizes that local businesses donate that we give away as a door prize. There's children's prizes and also some prizes for the adults and for the animals as well, because Mollywags is one of our sponsors. Okay, so moving on to the winter, and I think Mahima, the fall drive. So this is in October of 2025, we collected over 13,500 pounds of food and over $3,000 in cash donations through the food drive that we led. And this event is only made possible by our many community champions and the dedicated volunteers on the Community Engagement Committee. Excuse me. Next. Oh, this Mahima, I'm going to let you speak to this because this is your flagship event.
Sure, yeah.
The Joy in the
So
Junction.
then in winter, basically the focus is on doing fundraising just for the holiday season. So the event that we use for that is the Joy in the Junction. So it's a caroling event. Um, the the actual event has changed over the years. We used to have sort of like an actual traditional caroling thing that we do through the junction and collect donations that way. We've changed it, and we found this last year. We partnered with Petty Fine Foods, and we actually had a stationary sort of like we stood outside and we caroled outside Petty Fine Food, and it worked out really, really well. Stefano and who's the owner of Petty offered, we were able to sell hot chocolate, and so we made a little bit of extra money as well. We also raised about we had around, I think it was $2,000 through sponsorships that were raised for the Joy in the Junction, and those funds were used to buy socks, different sort of some gift cards as well. So things like from Walmart or Dollarama that can be used at some of our local community organizations like Sharing Place, the shelter over on Runnymede, and then also with our CHC Community Care. And we think this model seems to work. So I think it's something that we will repeat next year. Well, later on this year as well. So.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mahima.
Yeah.
And so these are, yep, go ahead, Mahima. You go right ahead.
Okay, so for the events kind of coming up in 2026, we've got in the spring, we've got the spring cleanup, which is just something that happens, through our neighborhoods. People can sign up and they can actually just go and really kind of clean up their part of their street, so to speak. Then we've got the function in the Junction, which is happening, and it's a Studio 54 kind of theme that we're doing, and that'll be May 21st. That is a ticketed event, and I think tickets have gone on sale, correct? And I think there's an early bird until I think April 21st. There's a little bit of a reduced rate. Is that right? Yeah. And then we've got the Taste of the Junction, which is June 27th. So we'll be supporting the BIA really with volunteer recruitment because we've got a pretty healthy volunteer group. We've got the Summerfest, which will be towards the end of June. And then the McMurray Street Festival, which will be sometime in the summer. The Halloween Howl, which will be, I think it's end of October 24th, I think is the date. Mm-hmm. Joy in the Junction will be, I think, December 12th, the 2nd December, if I'm not mistaken. And then we will be doing we'll be partnering with Daily Bread and Purelator to do the food drive. So it's a little different than how we've done it in the past year. So instead of getting volunteers straight through the JRA, we are using Purelator and to actually go and pick up the food donations within our neighborhoods. And I think Helen can probably speak to that a bit further. She's got more detail on that.
Mm-hmm. I can also add that we have confirmed that our Summerfest event is on June the 13th this year. We've because it was just getting too close if we were going to go to the end to the 27th for Taste of the Junction, and it would have the 20th would have been too close. So essentially we're moving to support the Purelator and Daily Bread food drive in the fall time. We were getting a lot of volunteer exhaustion from it. It's very volunteer intensive and a lot of work, and we were having a hard time finding enough volunteers it just grew and grew over the years. And so yeah, so there was a little bit of volunteer fatigue happening, and we thought this would be a great way to still get lots of food out there to the people who need it. And it will be something that we're still supporting by promoting it and helping to get some volunteers out. It'll be the same. You'll be leaving your food on the porch, and then they'll be Pure Later. You'll be getting Pure Later bags instead of the Black JRA bags anyways. But the good work that's being done is still going to go to where people need it the most. Anyhow, so that's it. Yeah, next. Again, volunteers make it happen. We're a volunteer led and run organization. We need you and lots of there's lots of fun ways to get involved through community champions. We need high school volunteers if you know of any student, event volunteers, and you can register to become a volunteer through our website as well if you're interested, or just reach out by email and we can get back to you about that. We'll also be looking for new board members as well. So if you've ever considered joining the board and helping us do this work, we will start doing some recruiting for new board members as well. Next, Mahima, let's see what else we have here. Thank you. Development and community spaces. So much of our advocacy work now being done is through FOSTRA. Like I had mentioned, it gives us a greater voice, and they have some really great committees with very knowledgeable people around development. So much of our work is being done as a group of 25 to 29 organizations, but there are some local instances where we've had local developments and community space concerns and issues that we've supported residents, like with speed humps and such. And so essentially Mario Silva and myself are members of this committee. We're not as active as we used to be just because we're doing much of the work through FOSTRA now. Next, please, Mahima. Let's see what we have. So the purpose of the committee is to keep abreast of the municipal land use policies or applications to the city for redevelopment. Where appropriate, possible, and practical. The possible and practical is the really important piece, because we need to be very careful to, we only have so much capacity to take on things. If it's not possible or practical, given the provincial government's takeover of all things municipal and development, it makes it really difficult for residents to have a voice now. So so whenever we've been able to engage with people, we do, and we support in whatever way we can, recognizing that we need to focus on what's possible and practical. So we try to engage with proponents of change, residents, and municipal officials to facilitate and support the understanding and meaningful dialogue to resolving or mitigate the impacts of change. And I think mitigation is where we're really focusing our efforts. Next, please. Did you have a question, Ruth? Linda Ruth?
If the province is taking over a lot of the development stuff, can we work with our MPP? I'm sure she'd be on side. Alexa's great. I know her personally.
Yeah. It's, I mean, and we've been fortunate to have really great representatives, and Butila before as well.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're really fortunate to it's just the land tribunal and all the changes that they had. Like now, if the residents wanted to have a say or make a submission or go to speak to anything that has to do with the land tribunal, with respect to development, they can't do that. You have to be an organization, so it would be something like the JRA that would go and speak on behalf of the residents. We can only speak to our members, though. We can't speak for the community as a whole.
Absolutely.
It's really difficult to speak for the community as a whole. And our organization and our model and our mission, it doesn't allow for us to really just focus everything we have, and we don't have the resources, the finances.
100%.
The developers can sue us if we slow down. They can
Ugh.
actually sue us, and we don't have that kind of capacity financially either. So we try to work, like we worked with residents who live on Mariah Street for some street calming. We were able to
Right.
write a letter in support of what for the area as a whole, not just for Mariah Street, but just some traffic calming. We're advocating for traffic calming solutions throughout our neighborhood, not just,
Sure, especially
just take on
since
individual. Yeah.
especially since Ford getting rid of the speed cameras, like, ugh, just because his cabinet members got dinged for tickets by the speed cameras,
I
like,
know,
oh,
I
can
know.
we not get rid of this man? Like,
I
ugh.
know. It's really frustrating because we need to focus on what we can do locally and advocating for those kinds of things in partnership with our counselor and with residents. The reason why we were able to support was because residents worked really hard to go door to door. We didn't do that work. We wrote the letter of support and were the connection to the counselor because we have the relationship with our representatives. We can be that connection that our residents have. And so we can back up the residents whenever there's something. Same with developments. Many of the developments, the first submission that we wrote was, there was one that was precedent setting, and now there's nothing that we could do because that one that was passed is now precedent setting. We had asked to please consider that this is going to be precedent setting, and our main focus with development is, can you please make sure that there are supports in place and community infrastructure that supports the added people that are the density? We need the services then to back up the density. So if you're gonna bring that many more people into our community, so we've written advocacy letters like that. Please make sure that the supports are in place to support those communities, and that's where we can have some. Where we can have some, I believe that we can have some, we can sway them a little bit with that, because
Some
no one
impact,
can argue.
yeah.
No one can argue that we need more services if we're going to have
Yep.
more people. They've sort of, so every level of government is not supporting our infrastructure, our transit system, our medical system, our schools. Everything isn't getting supported enough for the density that they're bringing in. So anyways,
No,
so that's
because Doug Ford wants to put money in his donors' pockets instead of putting money into our schools, our healthcare. Oh, he's the
Yeah.
worst. No, I can't say he's the worst. Danielle Smith, I think, has him beat out for the worst premier in Canada, but I'd say he's the second worst.
Yeah. We try, Linda Ruth, we try to do what we can, we try to work small things that we can do in our community that make a meaningful impact. And that's what we need to focus on. And did you have any other questions or about that?
No, I just, again, if it's provincial, I know he's got a majority, so he basically can ride roughshod over everything and do what he wants. Just like this crazy plan of dumping Phil into Lake Ontario to build whatever stupid thing he wants to build so he can kick back to his donors. But
Yeah.
Alexa, I mean, she kind of carrying on Butilla's mantle, right?
Yeah.
Like she'll stand up, she'll challenge him, she'll do what she can. So it's just good to work with her.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. We are really quite fortunate with representation in our riding.
Except for our MP, who's useless.
We won't get into politics. We'll try to avoid politics. So we have, I think we're moving on to the environmental slides. And Vicky, did you want to say a little bit about what we've been up to and what we
Certainly.
continue to do? Thank you.
Yes. But just there will be more, Phil, if the tunnel goes ahead, just saying. I mean, it could be quite a big island. Sorry. But yes, the environment, and not unrelated, but our little project is smaller scale. We participate in the Clean Toronto Together initiative, and we fill out paperwork with the city that enables us to have a centralized pickup. And we've been using the Mariah Street lot as a place you can go. And again, we've heard about a little bit of volunteer fatigue and sort of coordination. So it's not a big event. We suggest that people go and clean up their little neighborhood areas, spend half an hour or longer if they feel like it, and then collect all the bags. And you can see the picture of Jim, Helen, and I with almost a full load, I think. Every bag helps. So it's the weather is usually terrible. That doesn't help. But I enjoy it. It's a feel-good event. So
Victoria, what date is it this year?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
And I was going to mention to Helen in a moment, probably the applications will be coming soon. I'm about to head to England. Oops, sorry. Could you take care of that, please?
I will. Got it. I'm on it.
Thank you. But we will communicate broadly and enthusiastically and encouragingly when we have a date. Junction for trees. I can't really speak much to this, but I know that Patricia has worked with watering trees and coordinating with, is it the Green 13? Or
Yeah.
we took over for the Green 13 on the watering of the trees along Dundas. And I believe there is also some volunteer fatigue in that area as well.
Yes, there is. So we essentially we provide resources. Our website's a platform. We do have a neighborhood trees section that provides all kinds of resources through. There is the jazz program still happening. So they're where they water the trees along Dundas, and it's all volunteer led, and it's a wonderful volunteer by the name of Rose who takes that on and makes sure that those trees along Dundas get watered throughout the hot summer. So we do, essentially we have a landing page on our website that gives resources to residents about trees.
Do you guys, another really good connection here in Toronto, not specific to our neighborhood, it's kind of Toronto wide. It's an organization called Not Far From the Tree. Do you guys know about that? They have a lot of amazing like tree webinars, and then they encourage people with fruit trees to sign up, and then they have volunteers come and pick the tree, and the homeowner gets a third of the pick. The volunteers divide a third of the pick, and a third of the pick goes to like the Sharing Place or other like local charities. So they're a really good organization to connect with, especially if we're feeling a little stretched in that area, because they do a ton of good work.
I have heard of them, and I've actually, that's a really good reminder, Linda Ruth, because I keep forgetting to add that resource to the website. It's been on the top because I admin the website, so this is why I'm saying that I keep forgetting.
So much on your plate, Helen.
But no, it's a reminder. It's something that I've noted. I said because it is an amazing program that we have.
It's a great program. I've picked for them, and it's just they just do a really good job of kind of everything, and they're very environmental because they deliver the fruit on bicycles, right?
Isn't that
And
amazing?
I only pick picks in this neighborhood that I can like either walk to or bike to. I'm not, not going to spend gas to go to a pick on the other side of Toronto, but they do a very good job.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to add that one on because I have a few. We have Leaf on there, and then we have the Project Swallowtail on there, and I keep meaning to just add a button to link to that website. Thank you. Oh, now we're on to the financial statements. Katie wasn't able to join us this evening, so I'm going to go through our financial statements from last year, and I have a larger piece of paper here so I can actually see what's happening. We'll post, I think these are posted on our website already if you want to review them. So the balance at the end of December 31st, 2025 was a total assets of $3,659.45. Our TD community account, which is our main checking account, had $3,589.14 in it. Our TD Canada Trust account, which was used for our lottery license, had 7 cents in it. We let our lottery license that we used for raffles expire in August of last year. So we will be doing silent auctions instead of raffles from now on for fundraising. It's just much easier. And then in our PayPal account, we had $70.24. The statement of income and expenses from January 1st to December 31st of 2025 are as follows. PayPal memberships were equal to $315. PayPal donations were $196.84. TD bank account memberships were $300 in total. TD bank account donations were $392.75. Our bank fee rebate, because we were able to keep, I think, above $7,000 in our bank for a very long time account, we got a rebate for the fees, which were $21.45. Trust account earnings were nil. We had a tax refund from when from 2 years ago when we used the Canada Summer Jobs Program, where we were able to access grant funding for the students that we hired to do the Design Your Main Street project. We had a refund from the employment costs, like the EI that we had to pay out the students and their holiday pay and such, and their CPP. So we were able to, because we're a nonprofit, we got some money back from that. But we don't have any this year. It's still in our bank account. That's why we have over $3,000, because that $1,900 that we got back from the government, we're keeping in the bank account in case they come looking for it someday. We're not sure. Anyways, Summerfest sponsorship was $250. Our Hate Has No Home campaign brought in $225 through the TD account. Through PayPal for the Hate Has No Home Here initiative was $20.91. Dry No More tickets ticket sales came in at $1,260. The fund drive for Value Village and through the TD Bank was $30.80. The fund drive was something that we hosted at our Halloween Howl, and all the proceeds went to a local organization that's working on environmental issues, Parkdale High Park for Climate Action. I don't know if you've heard of them, but the $30.80 that we raised from that went to their work to support them. And so that was a total income last year of $3,124.60. Our expenses, our PayPal expenses came in at $14.89. The TD Bank expenses were $24.65. The TD Trust expenses were $3.75. And our insurance, which is one of our biggest expenses, was $2,263.68. Oh, I see a question. Yes, Vicky. I'm going to unmute you.
You're muted.
You're muted. You're muted, Vicky.
Of
Thank
course
you.
I am. Just a comment really on that, the trust account with the 7 cents in it and the $3.75 fees. We closed it and we were allowed to move the 7 cents to the other account, which you shouldn't do generally from a trust account into another touching account. But with it, given that it was 7 cents, they said okay. But so those egregious expenses for that account will not appear next year.
Woohoo! Thanks, Vicky. So okay. The McMurray Event Festival, was a sponsorship of $200. The website was $245.88, but that's for 2 years. We were able to get, that's a big discount. We were able to get a discount of 75% discount because we signed up for I forget if it was through TechSoup or one other platform that allows you to get discounts if you're a registered nonprofit. So we saved quite a bit of money for our website. So we're good for another 2 years with that. And then the West Toronto Artist Art Tour sponsorship. We sponsor them every year and we'll do so again this year of $100. That helps them to pay for the printing cost for their, and they put our logo on there and everything. So it's a really great event. I don't know if you've had a chance to go out and see any of the tour, but it's a nice thing to have in our community.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
and
it's
then-
great. On my
Yeah.
street, one of the artists is just up the street from me, John
Yeah.
Lynch. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Fantastic.
my sister is an artist, and whenever she comes to visit, if she hits that weekend, we
Yeah.
do the whole tour.
Oh, amazing.
it's
Wonderful.
great.
Oh, I'm glad you take that. That's wonderful. I'm glad you do that. Anyways, we support them that best that we can because they do great work. Summerfest expenses were $2,501.04. That was through our community account. The trust account, the expenses for Summerfest were $219.80. Halloween Howl expenses from our community account were $154.58. From our trust account was $409.25. And then on to the Function the Junction expenses from the TD trust account was $666. Oh, 666. How did that happen? And our Function the Junction expenses from the, sorry, I'm not lining up. From the community account were 666. And then from the trust account, it was 0. Function the Junction PayPal expenses were 0. And then Joy in the Junction expenses were $1,321.37 through our community account. And then Joy in the Junction expenses through PayPal was $168. And then other expenses were $266.80. Yeah, so that was total expenses were $10,000.07 at $10,007.19. Net income that we're reporting for the end of the period was $6,882.59. And then January 2025, our opening balance for the year was $10,542.04. That was the proceeds that we raised from the Function the Junction from 2024 that then went and paid for all of our expenses for 2025. We've since moved the Function the Junction to the spring of the beginning of each year. It was just having the Function the Junction in November proved to be too much. And yeah, so it's just, that's why we've moved it to May now. And so we have a surplus and leftover of $3,659.45, which we're starting with.
So I hate to put extra work on volunteers, but I cannot keep track of my membership. And it would be so helpful to get a reminder if it wasn't too much work for the treasurer to just go, hey, your membership's expiring on blah, blah, blah. you know, just a reminder, and then I'd pay up again.
Yeah.
I can't, I just can't keep track.
No,
You know?
that's a good point, Linda Ruth. We what we usually do is through our membership email
Right.
blast, we send out emails with
Great.
a reminder.
Oh, good. So if I
That's
get a
how we-
reminder, I'm happy to pay it. I just never know when it started, when it ends.
Yeah.
You know, so
I wonder if we need to write reminder in the subject line. Remember to
reminder
renew your
membership fee
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that. That would be helpful.
because I
Because
think
everybody
often-
gets so much email, right?
Yeah.
I think even a specific email
Yeah.
at one point out to everybody, reminder get your
Your
membership.
membership dues are
I
ready
think-
to be whatever. Yeah.
I think we've generally done that around September, right?
Yeah.
And then you get the rest of, so you get up
If you
until
pay-
the
yeah,
next September. So then if we just do a September call out for pay your membership nows, maybe.
Well, we can
that's
do it at the
helpful
beginning
to
of the year.
know.
We
Or-
can do it at the beginning of the year, and then September again would give you, if for those who didn't pay for the, like if those who haven't paid by September, then we can send a reminder saying if you pay for September, then your 2027 will be included with your 2026. So that way,
Right.
do you know
But
what I
then
mean?
they only pay
Yeah.
half.
Well, they need, I know, Vicky, but I don't know what to do for that tail end of the year where they get.
I know it's tricky. It's just, I'm sure I'm not the only one that can't keep track.
You're
right?
very
Oh, no,
good about
everybody.
paying your dues, Linda. You're very good about paying your dues. You're on it. Okay, but that's a good point. I think we need to send something that dues are due now, something
Yeah.
like that, where it's more.
That would be really helpful because when you get something like that, you go, oh, okay, I'll just e-transfer it like right now or
Be
put it
less
through
passive
PayPal
aggressive
or
about it.
whatever. Yeah.
So Sue's our membership coordinator. Maybe Sue, we can get together and come up with a plan for doing something like that.
Absolutely, because I would very much like to see more 2026 memberships being fulfilled.
Okay, thank you. That's it. If you haven't already done so, please renew your membership.
So Sue, do I need to renew my membership for 2026? Do you know?
I'll have to look.
I
it up.
don't want to put a lot of extra work on you, but like if I do, I'm happy to do it. I just need to know.
If you'd like to pay for 2027 in advance, if you buy it now, you'll be covered.
We're gonna have to add another column to our spreadsheet if we do that. Remember, to 2027.
No,
I can-
Linda Ruth, I will look it up and I'll
Thank you.
send you
And just send me an email or
your own
something.
email to say you're good or
Or pay up.
please pay up.
That's great, Sue. Thank you.
No worries.
Fantastic. Great. So that's it. So this is where and we do have the dates there. So the Q&A we kind of managed as we went. Are there any other questions? Any other questions, comments? I need to make a note for not far from the tree.
I'd like to thank all the committee for all of their work doing the things and being available to do all the things, because yes.
Yes, absolutely. Round of applause for that. Yeah, wonderful. With that, I think we're at the end. Are we? Wow, 45 minutes. We're 15 minutes early. Yay. And with that, we're looking forward to another year of community building and making this amazing community. But look at your background. What background do you have there?
It's one of the backgrounds
Office.
that comes with the Google Meet. It's a Google Meet background.
I have to figure out because in Zoom I had this fantastic laneway art the kids did on one of the
Yeah.
garages. I
That
love
you
it.
took your own picture of, and then
I
you
took
could
my
upload.
own picture and I put it, it was on the Zoom, but I can't seem to figure out how to get it on Google Meet. So I need to
I
need to
don't
do
know
that.
if you can. I think you're
Yeah.
stuck with their kind of
Okay.
whatever.
Oh,
So,
that's sad.
if you guys do want to meet on Zoom, by the way, I have a Zoom Pro account.
Mm-hmm.
So just let me know if you'd like to do the meetings on Zoom instead of Google Meet. It would cost you nothing because I've already paid for it. And we could do that. And then
Thank
you
you.
could show off your
Thank
fancy
you.
background, Helen.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy
Okay.
to help.
Thank you.
I have actually been on Zoom for like 15 years. So
Wow.
I'm very familiar. I was on Zoom before it was a video platform. It was just a conference call platform. And then when we got video, we just thought, oh, we just died and went to heaven, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't just get on it with the lockdown. I've been on it for years. So I kind of know the ins and outs of it. So I'm
Fantastic.
happy to host a meeting and then make you or whoever host once you get on. So
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Somebody make a note of this so that we can
Yeah,
remember.
make a note. Yes. Thank you. Okay. And with that,
Great.
everyone.
Great. And again, thank you all for all the hard work that you do. It's, coordinating this, that, and the other thing. It's amazing.
Thank you.
I just think we have one of the best neighborhoods in Toronto. Don't you agree? Like,
100%
a
agree.
great neighborhood.
Yeah, we do.
Great.
We're so lucky to live in
Yes.
a neighborhood like ours. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Good night, everybody. Take
Night.
care. Bye.
You too. Bye.
That it?
Well, that's that.
You can't